Hi, here is how to put together a stop motion, starting with getting the pictures off the camera because a lot of people still have a hard time with that. So the camera is currently plugged into the computer, as you can see right here, or you can use an SD card with the SD card reader. Once you open up the camera, you need to just click through. It should be pretty obvious where you're going. DCIM, 100 Canon. And then if I can't see what these are, like if it looks like this, all you have to do is come up here to view and go large. So like these are not my pictures right here, so I'm just going to scroll right past them until I find my photos. I'm going to click the first picture, scroll down to the bottom. Before I click on it, hold shift and then click the last picture. Once I've done that, you can see they all went blue because they're all highlighted. So now I'm going to right click one of the pictures and copy. Go to my folder, my photo class folder, make a new folder, call it what you're doing, which is stop motion. Open this up, right click, and paste. And we'll wait for that to load. These steps are almost exactly the same as the animated GIF, which these steps are up on Portal for you, but there is one major change because we're dealing with photos, which are a much larger quality file than the little doodles that you guys did, so I'll show you that as we go through these steps together. First, you need to have Photoshop open, and you're going to go File, Scripts, Load Files into Stack. Once you've done this, you need to hit Browse and go find your pictures. All of mine are in this folder. I don't have any other random things in here, so it makes it easy for me because now I can just press Control A, which selects all of the pictures. If for some reason you can't get that to work, click the first one, hold Shift, click the last one, and press OK. This might take a second to load all of your layers here. Okay, so you can see all of my files are here now. I'll hit OK. And what this is doing is opening the pictures, and then it's going to put them all into my layers panel. So we'll wait for that to happen. So once all of your layers have loaded into the layers stack right here, your pictures probably will be where your first one is at the top and the last frame of your scene is at the bottom. You actually want them to be in reverse, so the last thing would be at the top. So you need to click on either the bottom layer and then hold Shift and click on the top layer, or vice versa to select them all. So click the first one, hold Shift, click the last one, whichever way you do it, so that they all go blue, they're all selected. Now you're going to do Layer, Arrange, Reverse, and they've switched. Now that we have all the layers put together, they're in reverse order, we are going to go ahead and put together the stop motion. So to get your timeline window, you need to do Window, Timeline. This comes up. You need to click this little arrow right here, Create Frame Animation, and then press this actual button that says Create Frame Animation. Once you've done that, the first frame will load into the timeline. Next, you need to click this, the little 3-line thing as I call it, and you're going to make frames from layers, which they will all load into place. If you press the play button, you can check to be sure that it goes in order. I'm going to stop it. Whatever you do, if you play it or not, you need to change the timing. So most likely you're going to want to click the last one, and I have twice as many as we needed. You only needed 35. Anyway, click the last one, number 35, hold Shift and click the first one, or again, vice versa. Click the first one, hold Shift, click the last one. Make them all go blue. Now you're going to click on one of the 0 seconds and change them all to the same thing. So for me, I'm going to do 0.2 seconds. And then there are a few pieces throughout that I want to slow certain parts. Like here, I might want half a second. And same thing. So I'm just going to go through and click on the frames, and you'll see that my picture up here changes as I go, and adjust each of the times as you wish. And I'm going to do that now while I pause the video. I've gone through and changed the time on all of my individual frames. I have quite a few different time options than most people usually do. For the most part, I would say people choose 0.2 seconds, but because of what I did, some writing individual letters, some longer words, I picked a little bit of both. So before I save it, I want to press the play button and see how it looks. And I should click on the first frame, then press play. Okay, so that's my stop motion, obviously telling you how to make a stop motion. Once you are done, you're happy with the speed, it looks good, it's in order, you're going to go ahead and save for web. But, like I just said, there's a new step here, which is different than how we've done the animated GIF. Because you used pictures, and if you're like me, where you used more than 35, your file size is going to be too big to actually run or load. So before we save, it's super important that you do this part on the left side. So you're going to go image, image size, and then not this first part, because notice how it says document size. You want to change the width to 12 and make sure your resolution is 72. Now, if you have more than 35 frames like I do, go ahead and set this to 10. Also, if you try to save this to your website and it doesn't work, I want you to remember to come back to this, come back to image, image size, and change the width to 10. I'm just going to go ahead and do that. I'll press OK. This will take a second. I will be back. So you can see my image is much smaller, but I can still zoom in a little bit, and there is what my preview looks like. Next, I'm going to save. File, save for web, very important. Double check that this is set to GIF, it probably is, and then you want to change your looping options to forever. Look right here that you can see your GIF. I like to zoom it out a little bit so I can see it, and you can even press play to test it out. After you've done this, it's important that you hit save ... not done. So save ... find your folder where you are saving it. Don't change any of these things, just change the typing box, and then you will turn it in. You are turning it in through your Weebly website. Okay, the end.